As you know, we are here at the More Perfect Union Fellowship to learn how to help heal the divide in our country. Because everybody in this room believes in the power of the idea of America and that it's important in our world today.
And my secretary comes in and she goes, "I've got Sean Penn on the phone." And I said, "Okay, put Sean through, right?" And
I have friends, as I'm sure Robert does on the other side, they'll say, "Oh, what are you hanging out with Brian for?" And I would look at him and say, the guy's been serving people and this country his whole life. What am I hanging out with you for?
It was just really cool and frankly validating to see a celebrity, Sean Penn, who's known to be kind of on the left side of the aisle, and an aid worker sit down with a Trump appointee and national security advisor and talk about what they have in common.
we're a polarized country right now. But what we got in common is we're all Americans. And on the big issues, the things that really matter to this country, there's a lot more in common than we've got that divides us.
You have a group of people here who have traveled from all around the country, who have given up a lot to be here. What can they do as they're building their brickyard operations in these states around the country to help our communities heal?
And what I tell people is make a friend who's different than you. We segregate what we see on the internet. We segregate what we watch on TV. We segregate, who we spend time with. I've had the same thing with Sean. People like, hang out with Sean Penn. That guy's, he's a communist. So yeah, the guy got an American out of a bad place and drove him 14 hours to a jungle and saved his life.
Or just because you like someone doesn't mean that you can't counter an idea.
Robert said something that kind of hit Sean a little weird, and Sean kind of made a face and he said,
Everything he said, I'm right with, but for one moment.
I gotta do a little politicking, Sean.
They're going to show the fellows exactly the opposite of what we're trying to see here. But then I began to see they started laughing together. They started, making fun of each other, as friends do.
That should be normal for our country. That should be how we operate with our friends.
And just like that, Sean and Robert, they're really good friends, but they're going to disagree, and that's fine.
I'm not asking anyone to disregard their principles. Sean's not going to disregard his principles. I'm not going to disregard my principles. We're all on the same team. We're on Team America, and we got to remember that.
So they're a great example of how that can happen, and I'm a great example of how we can actually be afraid of those moments and try to backtrack and steer away from that. No, we need to acknowledge when we have the disagreements, but it's how we have those conversations that allows us to stay united.
Just thanks for tonight, and thank you for your service. It means the world.
If Robert O'Brien and Sean Penn can come together to do good things for the country, there's hope for the world. There's hope. All right, thank you guys. Let's get a picture.